So, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I just want to thank you all for being here and joining the first part of a series of webinars, which we will be hosting throughout the year. Now, the webinars will be focused around the food and beverage industry and aligned with different topics of discussion and content accordingly. So for the first one, we've paired up with the FDEA, the Food and Drink Export Association in the UK, and RangeMe, which is our sister brand. So without further ado, I would love to pass you over to Sandra.
Great. Thank you very much, Bruno, and welcome everybody. I can see some familiar names in the list there, so hello to those of you that know us, and nice to meet those of you that are new, both to FDEA and to ECRM. On the slides that follow, I'm just going to give you a quick run through on the Food and Drink Exporters Association, so that you can see a little bit more about what we do as a team. We've partnered now with ECRM over the last couple of years to really help promote the programs that their team have created. We were dabbling with getting involved in the physical offer that they used to have prior to the pandemic, so we were both aware of each other, but the world changed and we managed to change with it, and it's been good to help sort of build that relationship and offer another opportunity for food and drink companies to connect. So on the next slide, you'll see a little bit about us as an association. We do pretty much what it says on the tin, no great surprises, I think, in what you would expect a Food and Drink Exporters Association to do. We do very much bill ourselves as a community of companies in the export sector, and I think that's really, really important. It's really something that we've pushed, particularly over the last 2 years when getting out to physical events has been more difficult. We've been able to run events online, we've been able to offer advice online, but we've really been able to bring the food and drink exporters together so that they can actually learn from each other, share insights, seek help. And it's been a really big part of what we do. And that's in addition to representing the export sector with government. We work very closely with DIT, with DEFRA. We're on a number of roundtables and export work groups and all sorts of things. So there's always something interesting going on in our world. I just wanted to flag up some of the members that we have, and I think it's really important just to say that if you're a small new exporter, we're as relevant to you as if you're an established exporter just seeking to be part of that community and connect. I know we've got some big brands listening in today. Apologies if I haven't got your logo on. I didn't go through the list and put you in, but I think it's reflective of the kind of service we do. We're a very personable team, and we're keen to sort of help, you know, the major retailers that are exporting through to the little companies at the beginning of their export journey. We also have a number of export service providers. They're very key to our community in that they are the experts, professional experts in their fields. And we bring them in on a number of our events to support what we're doing. The final element is just to say that we do a lot of bespoke stuff as well. We've got people that we work with in market, so anyone that's looking for some specific help on export, if you don't know us and you're not connected with us yet, do drop either Nicola a line, whose email is on this slide, or me, mine will come up a little bit later, and we can chat that through. So trade shows and events, as Bruno said, a big part of today is about talking you through the opportunities that are available online for you, whilst getting out to physical events is still tricky in some parts of the world. Our team are known for running the UK group stands at a wide range of international shows, and clearly since I don't think we've had one that we've been to since January 2020. I actually forget which year it was. It's all sort of become a big blur. But clearly the world has changed dramatically in that time. And one of the things we can explore is sort of trade shows moving forward and how this kind of online program can continue to complement trade shows as part of the mix within your plans for reaching out to buyers. Just a little bit of a plug that it's not just me that thinks we're great. We put a couple of testimonials in from people as well. And I think it's, you know, you can tell by the names there, different size of companies, different level of experiences. I think Anthony from Corn's actually on the call at the moment. And yeah, he gave us a very nice testimonial just last week about the breadth of knowledge that we have as a team, and how we can sort of work together to, you know, face the challenges that exporters have. And what I'll do now is just sort of really chat through a little bit more in terms of what's been going on in the sector, and some of the trends that are affecting us, and you know, things that need to be considered. I know there's, again, varying experience on the call, but I think it's pretty clear to everyone that, you know, if we can have anything else thrown at us, I can't think what it could be, because we've had so much thrown at us as the food and drink sector. We thought Brexit was you know, the only problem we were going to have, and then we've obviously had the pandemic, the shipping crisis, staff shortages, supply chain issues. You know, it's been so difficult for everybody, and I think it's clearly a new landscape that we're all now working in. Consumers have very much shifted their behavior. I think that's key. You can see a lot of habits that have changed, and I think many of them are here to stay, and I'm sure you agree. Health and well-being, I think, has never been so much at the forefront of the average shopping basket. Things like online retail have boomed, and dining at home. You know, we now like the experience of dining in our home and expecting a quality offer for that. I think what's interesting for those of you that may be on the call who perhaps are not yet exporting, what you will find is those are trends that are not just specific to the UK. They are global trends. It's everywhere. I'm sure you will find, if you take part in the ECRM, that the kind of questions that the buyers are asking are very much in line with these trends. They know that people are looking for products now that very much align with, you know, their own social and ethical values, and the retailers have got to respond to that. The whole climate change issue, the health of the planet, these are things that people expect to see on your product, on your packaging, and trusting you and the brand and the retailer is really key as well in the choices that consumers are making. When we talk about the actual Meet the Buyer event, it'll be interesting to hear Benham's views, but I think what we're finding is that you know, to be prepared and really stand out and really make a difference when you're talking to a buyer, you've got to really research what their vision is, what their sustainability agenda is, what they're expecting. And you've got to identify what your niche is and how your product fills that gap for them. Because, you know, it's quite easy to go online and look up, you know, what you think is a target customer, and they'll all have statements and plans and values that they're striving to. So I think that's really important, and a big shift. It's not just, hey, look at my product. You've got to have all those values that the consumer is now looking for in some way or other in what you're proposing.
Yep. And I have a quick question from someone for you, Sandra. May I become a member of FDEA if my company is not from the UK?
If we do focus solely on UK food and drink companies, our broader network outside of being a member can offer services. So if someone's looking to get into the French market, for example, we work very closely with the company Supplier, who are experts in the French market. So whilst that wouldn't be directly through the FDEA, we can certainly help to signpost to support. So yeah, very happy that you drop me a line, and we can see where we can help. We're a nice bunch. If it's not too difficult, we're happy to make a referral.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank all of you for taking some time out of your busy days to participate in this webinar. My name is Clayton Kilkenny, and my role in the retail team provides me with the wonderful opportunity to speak with buyers and purchasing teams each day and hear about their wants and needs and what's keeping them awake at night. I will do my best to provide you with a few key takeaways to help you future-proof your business with virtual solutions. As ECRM's specialty is in efficient collaborative retail meetings, I will focus on the keys to success in this type of interaction. First and foremost, as a couple of people have mentioned already, preparation is key. I know when you have to prepare for 10 to 30 meetings in a day that could go across for the whole week, it's very hard to genuinely prepare for each meeting. So how can you do this? It's easy with ECRM. And I have a few life hacks that might be able to assist. I can't speak on behalf of all platforms, but within ECRM, you will know exactly who you're going to be meeting with. You'll know exactly which categories that they cover. And of course, you'll know if they're focusing on private label and or branded. Let's start there. If you know that a buyer is covering branded products, first we need to consider what's important to them. So what are branded buyers looking for? Branded buyers in particular from the big retailers want to see some type of proof of success. How have you been successful? How have you been successful in your community, your local market, your national market, or international markets? And this could be in sales volume, it could be in social media followers, production, engagement, store trials. Buyers want to be able to reduce their risk. And knowing that a product is successful in another market or channel reduces the buyer's risk and improves the probability that the product will be successful in their store. And it's great to have these metrics in the presentation. What else is important? So do you have a marketing budget and is it allocated? Do you have a launch strategy for their country or their region? Are you offering exclusivity? Who else are you currently working with? And do you already have exclusive agreements with other retailers or other parties within their region or country? Do you have distribution partners? What is different about you? What are your USPs? And I'm sure this is not new to anyone on the call, but natural ingredients and sustainable packaging are now the standards. Rather than USPs, buyers want to know what else is different about you. And how will you assist maybe with their in-store launch? Do you have an in-house social media team? Maybe they're creating great content and you can co-promote. Retailers are looking for partnerships and promotion support. I know this sounds like a lot, but really if you can cover this in the first 5 to 10 minutes and prove that you can become a legitimate partner, it leaves the rest of the meeting open to answer questions and engage in more meaty dialogue. Then private label buyers, completely different. So please always know whether you're in ECRM context and other contexts, which meeting you're walking into or digitally accessing. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make is going into a meeting with a private label buyer and start talking about those social media accounts or marketing budgets. Often they're just not interested. Private label buyers, they want to know if you are indeed the manufacturer. Where are your production locations? How much of your production is actually allocated to private label versus branded? Can you handle their volumes? Can you cater to their packaging requirements? And who are you currently supplying? Are you familiar with their current range? Can you offer a similar product at a better price? Or is there a gap in their range that your product can possibly fill? And these are very different questions, and the presentation should obviously be customized accordingly. The next cheat or life hack that you could use is to know the channel. It's really difficult to know every description every description of the retailer or buyer that you're going to be working with, particularly at a trade show or an ECRM environment with fast-paced interactions and a diverse list of buyers. Examples like the ECRM program that's coming up in food. We have traditional brick and mortar supermarket chains like Jumbo, Carrefour Poland, and Delhaize in Greece. Then you have big buying groups and alliances like AMS Sourcing, United Nordic, and EMD. Then we have drugstores and quick commerce, food delivery, and everything in between. If you don't have the time or resources to research every participant, and if you do, please do, it's very important. But if you don't, it's super important to at least know the channel and ideally highlight recent success or examples of current partners in that same vertical. To close, one of the most important things that all of us can do to future-proof our business with virtual solutions is focus on how we can help our current customers and potential customers. And in this context, how can we best help retailers? And to think about it from their perspective, what is important to them and growing their categories and business. And first, the basics. In order to do business with the retailers, we need to have the right certifications, distribution capabilities, and a go-to-market strategy. And then we have to communicate how can we help them increase their margin, sell more products, increase traffic to their web shops and stores, and reduce risk with consistent supply and demonstrated success. I hope this has been helpful to some of you. Thank you again for your time and for taking time out of your busy days to join us.
That leaves myself and Margaret to introduce, let's say, a little bit in terms of the process if you're a supplier and interested to join one of the ECRM programs. Now, what does the customer journey look like? And this is quite short. So within Europe specifically, we organize multiple category specific programs. Within the food and beverage industry, we have segmented this into 6 different programs. As you can see there, this is dry grocery, shelf-stable beverages, snack and confectionery, frozen, chilled and dairy. And we do have a baby and toddler program where food and feeding is also a specific product category focus within. Now, when a supplier is interested in joining one of our programs, in the first instance, it would be myself or one of the relevant sales managers according to your territory that would schedule a short meeting with you or with any supplier to understand their product SKUs, their capabilities, and to see whether there is a match with our retail buying partners. We like to ensure that the suppliers we bring on board are going to extract enough value from our programs, and if they have a product offering that is also in line with what our buyers are looking for. Now, equally, we want to satisfy our buyers as they are a fundamental part of our value proposition. And also, it's good to note that within every program, there's only 2 packages. And we offer a 10-minute package and a 20-minute package. And this is the time that each supplier will have directly with the buyer. So at this point, a supplier can choose whether they're happy with all the information, they're happy with the buyer list, and at that point, they can choose whether or not they want to register. And all you have to let us know is which package you'd like to do, and also what your requirements are, capabilities, what you're looking for, et cetera, et cetera. That's usually covered in that meeting with the sales manager. So now I'm going to pass you over to Margaret. So she's going to explain what happens when a supplier confirms their registration and what the client success management team, the CSMs, what their role is and how they help the suppliers.
Thank you, Bruno. Hi, everyone. So my name is Margaret. I am one of the client success managers here in ECRM. So what are the key steps really in the client journey? I really like the word journey, actually, that take place after registration. So each supplier, first of all, as previously already mentioned, will have a dedicated client success manager or CSM assigned to them. And this is for active communication around preparation. You know, it's also about deadlines, schedules, and any updates. So first steps first, CSM normally reaches out to the suppliers with preparation info and also schedule a preparation call. And the preparation call is really where we discover all the steps or all the journeys that will come along. We will introduce the supplier to the preparation page where all information is held. We will also discuss the important information that is needed to ensure that we complete the supplier's profile. So suppliers do need to create an ECRM profile, answer capability survey questions, and also set up their relevant product categories for each of the programs. We will also discuss through and also remind as a next step on how the scheduling process works, and just make sure that everybody has kind of good overview and also understands the scheduling page, which is also a part of the preparation page. As I mentioned, all this information is always at the client's hand and at their hand's reach on the ECRM portal, so they can always access it. After the preparation call, we normally suggest a second touch point, which is also to introduce the ECRM Connect, which is the virtual platform where the meetings take place. And this will be also held with each of the attendees. So if there is multiple attendees from the company, we just want to make sure that there is a test call done. Each attendee knows how to use the platform and what the features are. And lastly, really to highlight, CSM always do their best also to advise with best practices. We're normally at this point of time probably very used to virtual meetings and kind of conversations taking place virtually. but we always ensure that there is best practices that we can recommend on how to present your products, what content to use, as well as, questions about the buyers who are attending. You will have at your hands, as previously mentioned, buyers' profiles, their categories, what they're looking for, and what their focuses are to really make sure that you are well prepared for each of the meetings. So it is truly a preparation journey, as there are multiple touch points with the CSM. We send out regular reminders and also updates as we go along in that process. Now, from Supplier's perspective, last thing just to summarize, also, it's really important that you invest the time to prepare for the program. And as Clayton mentioned previously, invest the time for each of the meetings. So that's why also we recommend that you do kind of commit or consider to register earlier on in the program, just to make sure that you will have success in the preparation process, which really is the key. So from my side, I hope this information was informative, and perhaps I look forward to also meeting some of you in the next weeks ahead.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a nice idea just to have a conversation with somebody who has used the platform and been a participant at ECRM events in the past. Tell us a little bit about who Borna are, first of all, just to bring you to life to people that don't know you.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'm the founder of Borna Foods. Borna Foods established since 2014. We are a nuts and dry fruit importer, mostly pistachio, almond, and cashew. And we also a small food manufacturer who produce nut butters such as pistachio, almond, and cashew nut butters. And well, I'm not working for ECRM, so today I'm just going to share my knowledge, and I'm not getting any commission, so I'm going to be very, very honest today with everyone. And well, if you have any questions, Sandra, I'm happy to answer.
That sounds fair enough, doesn't it? I think. So yeah, perhaps tell us about the program that you did take part in, and what your experience was of working on that one.
Well, yeah, I have. I think we have attended 3 times during the last 2 years, and being honest with you, it was very, very successful. We listed several companies through the ECRM, and one of them was Ocado. And so if I want to talk about the buyers, they were really serious, and so they search and study about our brand before they join to the meeting, which was very important for us. And so we still follow up. We still emailing some of the buyers which we had from BFO, the last one. And in terms of companies, they are all serious, big, and of course there have been some small companies, so some small buyers, but I found it very, very useful, and it's one of the best and cost-effective way to list with the big buyers. Because if you want to go to attend CL, Anuga, or even IFE, you have to spend at least around £5,000 to £10,000. And well, during the COVID it's even more expensive. But with ECRM is much cheaper. So you're going to have meetings here in your office, virtually, and it's much easier and much cost-effective way to create a network, I think.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I think it's interesting what you said about the retailer researching you, because a point I think we've made a couple of times today is about making sure that the producer has done their research. But I think it's really encouraging that the retailers are engaged enough that they're doing the research back again. So that's good to hear. One question we get asked is about the length of the meetings. 10 minutes doesn't sound very long.
When you try to put everything you want in 10 minutes and practice, then you're going to have 4 to 5 minutes to talk and 4 to 5 minutes to answer questions. And I found it was absolutely fine, because the beauty of this meeting is that you need to really prepare, and you need to just go straight to the points that you want the buyer to hear. So 10 minutes was absolutely enough.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And your sort of rough balance of 4 to 5 minutes of presenting yourself and then them asking the questions, that's good sort of insights for people that haven't done it before. You mentioned trade shows, and yeah, I think everyone agrees now that there's a role to play for both of these. Trade shows themselves, it's a good way of catching up with existing customers, of tasting the product, having the product in hand. As a business, are you still combining the two? You're still doing trade shows?
As you know, we attended Anuga. We're going to attend IFE and also CL Paris. But ECRM is always on our table, so is a combination of both, I think. And
is private label something that you do, Behnam? Was the advice that was shared earlier? Do you think that's good
we do it for some export clients. We do the private label for some export clients, and we are BRC. We are not still BRC food manufacturer, but BRC agent and brokers, but we're in process to get our BRC as well. So then we can have even more clients for private label.
Yeah. One of the other comments and one of the benefits of us joining up with ECRM is that when we've run our own Meet the Buyer events, they've been very much distributor-led. So we would invite international distributors to connect with UK suppliers to then find routes to market. How do you find dealing directly with the retailer? Do they tend to come with the solution of are they buying direct, or do they tend to work through distributors? Is there a standard?
Some of the small retailers, they ask us to list our products with distributors in their country. So they introduce us to those distributors. So we talk to them, and we're still trying to list with them. And this Brexit really slow everything down, unfortunately. And well, I don't want to talk about Brexit here, but but yes, they always have a solution for it.
That will conclude today's webinar. So I just want to thank all the panelists and all the speakers that have been on here, especially Sandra and Behnam outside of ECRM, and Willem, of course, from RangeMe, who are able to share all their insights and experience with working with ECRM. If you're a non-FDEA member, I would definitely encourage you to reach out to Sandra, find out what are the benefits of joining FDEA as a member. There is a lot of promotion that they offer for not only digital programs, but also trade fairs and helping UK suppliers both with their export and import. So again, thank you very much. And this wraps up the first webinar. I hope you all had a very pleasant experience.